Nice to meet you all. I'll spend, Elisa, just starting now. Hi, jurors. I'd like to just spend probably about a minute just reading something out by way of an introduction, by way of a brief introduction, then I'll run through the presentation, if that's okay. Eternity Life is a socially inclusive building that is 71% carbon neutral, made from simple laminated timber. The design's inspiration has been taken from its surrounds and external influences. It's situated adjacent to Stoney Creek, which is an active waterway leading to Maribyrnong River. And we drew inspiration for the building from typology found in remnant buildings with pitched roofs, being a nod to the industrial past of Footscray. This idea drove the form and shape of the building with gable roof forms and timber cladding. The site is landscaped by trees, and inspiration was taken from the site's existing natural environment, including Stoney Creek. Native trees and wildlife on the site support the project's concept of, in the shade of the tree, nature is eternity, and the desire to create a place which supports past, present, and future. Our aim was to create a place that both enhances the connection of residents to the local environment and extends beyond the boundaries of the site to provide a high level social inclusivity and to provide a sanctuary for people in the centre of an urban environment. Each apartment has been thoughtfully designed to allow for spacious living and mobility. Of the 61 apartments, 15 have been designed to accommodate people living with disability. The building is designed to be universally accessible, and the building creates apartments for people with disabilities. The kitchen's cabinetry are designed for wheelchair access, electronic access throughout the apartments, ceilings for hospital-grade care devices, and an overall consideration for universal access to all common areas are some of the initiatives incorporated to help residents enjoy independent living. Eternity Life is made of solid timber structure known as Simple Laminated Timber and is clad in sustainably sourced hardwood timber. An independent Lifecycle Assessment concludes the upfront carbon emissions are reduced by 52% and embodied carbon energy reduced by 71%. This places Eternity Life ahead of the curve, exceeding World Green Building Council target of 40% of upfront carbon emission reduction by 2030. Designed to minimise its environmental footprint and subsequent impact on site, we designed the building to occupy 50% of the land. Eternity Life resides respectfully within its natural surrounds of trees and water, encouraging connection between the building and the environment. The north side landscaping has been completed, whereas the south side has been granted to council as a community reserve connecting parklands along the Maribyrnong, along Stoney Creek, as well as and council was also gifted $50,000 to complete the landscaping approved scheme. It was to be landscaped by council in April 2021, with landscaping being delayed by council. On completion, the site is to be recognised as a land for wildlife approved, as we understand it, the only one of its kind. So that's just a brief introduction to the project, and I'll run you through some slides here, and there should be a video here which I'll run you through as well. This will only take about a minute. Just some photos of the building through construction, showing the extent of timber. And it's an innovation of the simple laminated timber we created. Thank you. That's the conclusion of the video. I'll just flick across to some photos, some of the images, and I'll walk you through. There's 5 building forms that we devised here. Stoney Creek was on title, and to the south side where you can see a series of trees there that were once weeping willows that died through construction, actually, due to the contamination event that we had, the big fires. I don't know if you can recall the big fires in West Footscray. That actually wiped through the south side and actually killed all of our weeping willows that we were trying to maintain, even though they're noxious weeds, so that we could actually allow for the native Indigenous scheme to come through. We actually worked with ecologists and worked with the department to have this site designated as a line for wildlife scheme. We subsequently granted the south side to council, and we're just sort of working our way through to see how faithfully they're going to complete that with the reserve, and hopefully they'll maintain that. The building sits on 50% of the space, and there were some real challenges in developing this building, constructing it, because it was actually, we had to move a mountain to make way for this building, because the foundations are carved out of solid bluestone. They weren't floaters. It's actually quite remarkable. It was chipping away at a really solid structure, and which has the added advantages of an amazing footing. These are just some images that we sort of found somewhere in the file there, but I'll forward you through. That's the north and south side elevations to the building, and we're looking for a consistency in form as well as an equality in living from one end of the building to the other. The south side there, where you'll see there was that green wall, didn't come through in the end. And one of the other things that we didn't do was we had just balustrade, we had external walkways, which we then fully enclosed those later on.
1 minute.
Yep. And these are just some other photos. Thank you for that, Lisa. These are some other photos. These are the disabled apartments that we've incorporated within the project. And just some photos of the timber construction as well. The video was actually part of a timber presentation I did a couple of weeks ago. It's a unique system that I devised, and as part of an international patent that we're running through, and Timberworks is my company as well. Then some internal photos. Yeah, and then just some external photos along the creekway. We're just still waiting for council to do the south side, which pains me to no end, but it should come up when the landscaping is completed. Quite pretty. And that's the end.